So I'm Mark Simon. I am the principal consultant at Storywalkers Consulting. And I should add that I am the co-designer, co-facilitator of our communities of practice with Charlene.
Yes.
For a long, long time, whether we want to name it this way or not, a lot of diversity has in some way had to do with things like quotas or tokens or, top-down structures, which are not without their value, but I don't think that I would equate that to diversity. And one of the things actually that we talk about here is about having this heightened emphasis on diversity in recruitment, successfully recruiting a higher diversity of students, but then they arrive here and their experience is not necessarily an experience of diversity. Their faculty are not necessarily diverse. There are not entirely mindful policies and practices in place that align with that. And so we've got a bit of that structural change, like we're trying to change our numbers, which is great, very admirable, but that's just one step and one element of achieving diversity. I actually feel a bit more inspired about inclusion than about diversity. And that is not to downplay the value of diversity, but I feel like it's almost like inclusion is diversity 2.0 because, again, diversity kind of has a history of being focused on, are we there, are we not, quantitatively, what's our breakdown, what are the statistics, and that's a good first step. And if the numbers tell you, you're 95% whatever, then you're probably not diverse. But you can have a good amount of quantitative diversity and not necessarily be inclusive. And you really cannot, you can't know that you're being inclusive without listening, being part of what your agency culture is. You can't just on the surface or analyze your way into knowing that inclusivity is happening. And what it means to be inclusive is constantly changing because your population has different needs and changing times require different needs. And so inclusivity is about being responsive. It's about making sure that people feel like they're heard and seen, and that you are learning from the process of that listening to people.